Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to cover which countries are allowing people in who have been vaccinated. If you are choosing not to be vaccinated, and that is your prerogative and your choice, I recommend you taking a look at this video here where I cover 3 websites which will give you all of the travel restrictions country by country. So you can take a look and find out who will let you in if you're not vaccinated and what those requirements are. But if you are vaccinated and you are looking to travel, you can take a look at those videos or stay tuned and we'll jump into just who is allowing us in right now. All right, so as you know, as more and more of the population gets vaccinated, more and more countries are going to allow us in with simply proof of vaccination. Sometimes you might still need to test, but a lot of these places that I'm going to talk about today just require your vaccination as proof. Now, this is going to get tricky because chances are people are going to start forging vaccination documents. So you're going to need to stay tuned. And if you're vaccinated, hold on to every shred of evidence you have that you've been vaccinated, because we don't know yet how countries are going to require proof. If our vaccination cards are enough, if we're going to have to register with any kind of online source. One country is literally going to test us to make sure that that marker is there that we've been vaccinated. So just know that it's not smooth yet. It's not easy peasy yet, but it is starting to be a thing. So if you're vaccinated, things are starting to open up for you, and there's a good chance you'll be able to travel in 2021. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about the countries and what the requirements that are open to vaccinated individuals and what those requirements are. Let's get started. All right, the first one I want to talk to you about is Greece. Now, Greece is opening as of May 17th for most of the world, but the US, the UK, the EU, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates are allowed to come in as of yesterday, actually, as of April 19th. So if you are vaccinated, you are freely allowed to come into Greece, and there's no quarantine required. But if you're not vaccinated, you can get a negative test and also come in without any kind of quarantine required. This might be a great opportunity to visit Greece. It is usually very, very, very visited, I guess is the good way to say it. It's usually very crowded, especially in the summer. So this might be a great time to go if you've always had Greece on your bucket list. The next one I want to talk about is Thailand. And by the way, caveat to this, I have linked this article below. So if you want to go in and read more about it, and there's links inside if you need to get more information about any of these countries, go ahead and take a look at that link in the description below. All right, back to Thailand. They are going to allow people in without quarantine starting in July. So if you go to Thailand before July, you will still need to do whatever their current restrictions are, which I believe is probably a test and a certain quarantine period. But if you can wait until after July and you're vaccinated, you can enter without any kind of quarantine requirements. Initially, only Phuket will be open, but there is talk that the rest of the areas will open up starting in October, possibly sooner. Keep an eye on it. You don't know, you never know, as it progresses, if they might open earlier than that. But starting in July, you'll be able to visit Phuket, and then hopefully eventually everywhere else, particularly if you are vaccinated. All right, the next one I'll talk about is the Maldives. Now, the Maldives right now is allowing you in if you're vaccinated, you don't have to test and you don't have to have a quarantine. If you are vaccinated, you are welcome. Once the local population is vaccinated, the Maldives will offer a vaccine on arrival for anybody who wants it. So it's a great opportunity for people who want to get vaccinated, but maybe want to wait out that month or so waiting period while enjoying a private villa on the water. So that is an option. But Maldives, if you're vaccinated, you are welcome now. The next one I want to talk about is Guatemala. Now, that country is making it easier for everyone who's been vaccinated, but also for non-vaccinated individuals as well. If you can prove you've had both doses and at least 2 weeks of the vaccine, then you can enter restriction-free. If you are not vaccinated, then you would need a negative test within 3 days before you get there. And then proof of recovery is also now accepted. So if you've had COVID and you've recovered, you can show proof of recovery, and that is also accepted to travel to Guatemala. All right, the next one I want to talk about, and you probably heard this on the news already, is Israel. Now, they have, I think, the best vaccination record of any of the countries. And so they are opening to tourism starting in May. But initially, it will only be groups. Because as you know, there's a ton of religious group travel, people going for various, and I can never think of the name, but when religious groups go and it's a whole I can't think of the name, but you know what I'm talking about. So initially, it will only be groups. And then in July, it'll be available to individuals. Now, the biggest thing here is you have to be vaccinated. You can't just take a test and quarantine. You have to be vaccinated to visit Israel. And they're not simply going to just take any old certificate saying that you've been vaccinated, because, like I said, those might start being forged as time goes on. So they are the country that will actually test you and make sure that you have the markers showing that you've been vaccinated. So this is something that they are doing to help fight any forgeries. Now, they are accepting US, UK, and other vaccination certificates. But again, you will also need to be tested to prove you for sure have the vaccine and you're not trying to pass a forgery. All right, the next one I want to talk about is Spain. Now, Spain has an asterisk because Spain isn't sure what they want to do yet. So right now, the talk is that when the EU puts out their green passport, which is their version of the vaccination passport, which is rumored to come out in June. Hopefully, it will come out in June. Spain will open up to anybody who has that vaccination passport, but that is going to be restricted to EU residents only. I'm not sure if UK is part of that or not, but EU residents will have access to that green passport, and you would be able to visit Spain as of June. Now, right now, it's unclear whether US and non-EU people are going to be allowed to enter with vaccinations. But if they're doing it for the other EU countries, there's a good chance they will add the other countries as well. Non-EU countries. So keep an eye on those websites that I had mentioned earlier in the video, and I'll go ahead and link those below again as well. That shows you exactly what the restrictions are country by country, and keep an eye on it, because if you are looking to go to Spain this year, there is a chance they might open later, but chances are you will absolutely have to have a vaccination. So keep an eye on it. The next place I want to talk to you about is Iceland. Iceland does allow vaccinated travelers to skip all of their current restrictions and quarantines and requirements starting May 1st. But if you go before May 1st, you still have to do the restrictions and requirements. But if you're vaccinated and you go after May 1st, you will be allowed to enter without quarantines and testing. Now, Iceland, the airlines are adding more and more flights because they're expecting a high number of people to be visiting Iceland this year, as everybody kind of that travel bug hits and we can finally leave again. So if you are planning to go and you have the flexibility to go at a non-main time, i.e. summer break, and especially the holidays, then I would recommend that. But if you can't, you can't. It just might be more crowded than what you're expecting. All right, the other place I want to talk to you about is Croatia. As far as European countries that are allowing us in, Croatia is one of the few that are open to vaccinated individuals, including Americans. And they haven't given a lot of details in this article, but there is a link to more details about Croatia. And again, that is in the article that is linked below. So if you are interested in going to Croatia, which is amazing and fantastic, by the way, and it's not one of the highly visited areas, it's kind of a new emerging popular place to go. It's gorgeous. I would highly recommend visiting Croatia in 2021. It's going to be fantastic. But if you're vaccinated, you can go. All right. Now, another place in Europe that I want to talk about that isn't in this article, but there are rumors. In fact, the president had said that he was going to start welcoming people outside of this country, is France. It is not official yet, but there is talk that they will open to tourism soon. I don't know what that means. May, June, July, I don't know. But the president just announced that they will be opening to, I'm sure, vaccinated individuals. However, there might be a non-vaccine option as well. Probably, again, test, quarantine. But that is going to be happening this summer. So stay tuned, and chances are you'll be able to go to France in 2021. All right, the next place I want to talk to you about is French Polynesia. So this is your Tahiti, your Fiji, your beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, crystal clear blue water and lush mountainous jungles and overwater bungalows and just all sorts of beauty and beauty and beauty. So they are happy to welcome people with vaccinations, and you can read about that in the article below. They'll give you all the details about what is needed. All right, so some of the places I didn't cover but are absolutely included in welcoming vaccinated travelers is Belize, Ecuador, Romania, Poland, Lebanon, Sri Lanka, Georgia, Cyprus, which is welcoming vaccinated travelers as of March 1st. And the requirement of a quarantine or a negative test is for and all of the other arrival people. So if you have a vaccine, you don't have to do that. But if you don't have a vaccine, you can still go with quarantine or negative test. And then who else did I forget? Malta, Seychelles, and I think that is, Barbados. And I think that's everybody. Now, just because these are the countries I mentioned that are taking vaccinated individuals does not by any chance at all mean they are the only ones. Every day there are going to be new countries, I'm sure, that are going to allow vaccinated individuals to enter. So keep an eye, and again, I'm going to link these above. This video, I talk about 3 main websites that you can go to get the most up-to-date information of what the travel restrictions are country by country by country. So go ahead and make sure you check those out. And so you know where you're going, exactly what you're in for. All right, I think that's it for now. Stay tuned to my next video where I'm going to be talking about cruise lines and which cruise lines you can go on. There are many that are opening that require vaccinations, but if you're vaccinated and you want to take a cruise, you have the assurance of knowing that everybody on that cruise, all of the crew, everybody has been vaccinated. There are many cruise lines that are opening, allowing that to happen. So stay tuned for my next video and I'll tell you which cruise lines those are. And other than that, if you're looking to plan travel in 2021, take a look at these videos here. And other than that, I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.